Hey guys, welcome back to my canal. If you guys are new, my name is Vanessa and I would love for you guys to subscribe. Here we go with the dog again. For today's video, it's pretty interesting because I'm gonna do a full face and 2 stories on how I got arrested and how I met my husband. If you want to know like the chisme, then just keep on watching. So it all started on sometime in May or June of 2009. So this is how it went down. It started on the last day of 9th grade. So I was a freshman when this happened. It was the last day of freshman year. So I want to say it was like sometime in May, maybe June. I want to say it was June, but I know you guys are just like, can you get to the story already? Okay. So it happened, you know, the last day of freshman year, and I'm going to name this person Roger, okay? And this person was my BF. So you guys can take BF as whatever you guys consider what BF is. I mean, I consider BF a best friend. Some people consider it a boyfriend, but I'm just gonna leave you at blank and just guess whatever you guys want to guess. But I say BF because I think that's like a best friend, but everyone else thinks different. So that day, I don't know, like, you know, like me, I'm gonna give you like a little backstory, okay? I am not like a bad child. I was not a bad child. I didn't give my parents problems. I didn't get straight A's, but for the most part, I had like passing grades, like A, B's, and like a couple C's. But like, I mean, I wasn't like an A straight student, avid, enrolled, all of that. No, I was not. But like I said, I didn't give my parents any problem, any trouble and stuff. And I didn't ever ditch either school. Like, I had people that would, you know, like I had friends that smoked weed and would ditch and stuff like that. And I just never have been the person to be a troublemaker. And everyone was ditching school. I remember everyone was like, oh my god, like there's gonna be this kickback at this house and blah blah blah, and you know, and they're like, we should go. I'm just gonna say Roger. I'm not gonna expose people here. And I was like, all right, like, you know, like I was like, oh, like deep inside of me, I knew I shouldn't have gone because, like I said, I'm not that type of person. But that day, I was literally living life. I was literally being like a rebel. Just like, all right, you know, I'm down, which I wasn't down, but now that I think back at it, I'm like, you know, if they were really my friends, they would have like really not encouraged me to go, because obviously they knew, because it was like a group of people, you know, that was gonna do it, like to ditch. And I was just like, you know, that's not me. Time comes where everyone's gonna ditch, and they're like, okay, we're gonna meet up at this spot and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, cool, you know, I'll be there. And so the time came, you know, where everyone was gonna ditch. And I remember I had to hop a fence. I mean, it wasn't like a big tall fence, but keep in mind, I never hopped fences. And that day I learned. That day I learned. I'm gonna put some on my nose because I feel like my nose is always like the area where my foundation just like disappears or just vanishes away. But so everyone decided to jump the fence, and of course I was the last one because I didn't know how to jump fences. And I remember Roger, he was like, come on, like, you know, they're gonna catch us. And I am not the type of person to like the adrenaline. I can never say that word, adrenaline. Obviously that's not how you say it, but I'm gonna look it up because it's bothering me. Adrenaline, right? Adrenaline. And how do you spell it? Anyways, keep in mind, I'm not the type of person, but you know what, it's bothering me that I cannot find the word. Like, is Google on crack? Adrenaline. Adrenaline. Oh my god, adrenaline. It's called adrenaline. Oh my gosh, I don't like the adrenaline feeling. You know, I don't like to be under pressure. I don't like any of that stuff, you know, like that's just not my thing or whatever. Like, it's, you know, like it's not. So the whole time that we were walking from the back of the school to the house where the kickback was going to be at, I was so nervous, and I was just telling Roger, like, you know, like, I don't want to do this, like, we need to go. Like, my gut was just telling me, like, you know, like, don't go here, you know. And I cannot say it enough how much you guys should listen to your gut, because at no point did I know Roger had bad intentions, you know. Like I knew Roger, so I knew that, you know, like, his intentions to go into this kickback wasn't bad. It's just, it happened, like what I'm gonna tell you guys right now. So we got to the kickback or whatever, and, you know, it was, you know, they had drinks, like, so stupid. Like, basically this house was like one of the kids from the school, like, he lived in the back of the school, so he lived like in the like nice area, and his parents, obviously, they worked, so the house was by itself. When we got to the house, like, it was very, I don't know, like, if I had a kickback, I would put stuff away. Like, they had like PS4s, tablets, PlayStations, like, all around the house. Like, I'm surprised nobody took anything, to be honest. But I think, like, the most we were there at that house was like an hour and a half. So me, Roger, and a couple of other friends were in the back of the house, and this was a 2-story house. So you know, we were in the back. We were honestly just chilling. But, like, I'm not even gonna say I was having a good time, because in the back of my head, I knew that I was trespassing into a property that I had no idea who the hell it was, and thing for a while now. So I'm gonna use this thing, and then obviously what I use to set my face is my MAC. It's my MAC. All right, so I did my eyebrows off camera, and I'm just gonna do I'm gonna prime my lids, and I'm gonna use soft ochre to prime my lids. And I think I said that we were just chilling in the back, because they had a pool and stuff, so I think we were in the back. And you know, we were chilling, you know, all our friends and I were hanging out, and we were just having like a good time, in the sense where in the back of my head I was still very paranoid of being there. So, you know, after an hour passed or whatnot, we went all inside, and I heard, like, people started leaving gradually, because at the end, I think it was just like 10 of us in the house, and that, like, included, you know, like, the group of friends that I went with, and Roger and I. And at this point, you know, like, no se me hizo raro. Like, it was kind of weird, but I didn't think, like, anything of it. I was just like, you know, like, okay, you know, they left or whatever. But the part of this was that these people knew already, you know, they already knew, and they didn't say anything. So it's passing, and then all I hear is the guy that lives there say, "The cops are coming, the cops are coming." Did I hear that right? Like, the cops are coming? And I just seriously freaked the hell out. You know, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, oh my god, like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna get arrested. Well, I mean, I didn't think I was gonna get arrested. I thought, you know, something was gonna happen, and God was gonna save me that day, and, you know, everything was gonna be perfect. But I remember that Roger was like, you know, hide in this closet. He was like, I'll be right back. I remember there was people like on top of the roof. People were hiding in places that, like inside trash cans, like the big trash cans and stuff like that. And you know, I hid in the closet. I stayed there, you know, and Roger, I don't know where he went, but he was like, I'll be right back. So as time is passing, you know, the cops are obviously, they're searching the house. They're looking to see if there's anybody there. Obviously looking to see if there's any suspicious activity happening inside the house. And as I am hiding in the closet, I hear the cops saying, is there anybody in here? I think I left off in the part where I said that the cop was yelling, saying, is there anybody in here? And I obviously, like, I was like, oh my, at this point I was like praying to every santo out there. I was like, please don't let them like find me and stuff. So I'm gonna say it one more time, is there anybody in here? And of course my dumbass didn't say anything. At the end, you know, the cop obviously found me, and they took us all to the front of the house. And like I said, it was about like 10 of us. He had us sit down like in the front of the house in la banqueta, in the curb, and he asked us, he was like, do you realize what you guys are doing is a crime and you guys can go to jail for it? And I was just like, you know, like, I was just, honestly, I don't even know what the hell I was thinking. I was just like, what the hell am I going to tell my parents, you know? Especially from someone, like I mentioned, that it's coming from me. I'm not a troublemaker or anything, so they obviously were not expecting that. So after that, you know, like we were sitting in the curb, he basically got us all handcuffed. And from the house to the school, it was literally like a 2-minute drive, maybe less, because the school was big. So the back of the school was the street, and then it was like the residency. It was like houses. So when we got back to the school, keep in mind we were handcuffed, and the cop made us all get down and stand in a line, and he handcuffed every single of our hands together. So we were like, basically he was trying to do like a walk of shame, and he just made us walk up the stairs to the office handcuffed all together. So, you know, the drive from the house to the school was very long to me at that time. Like, se me hacía eterno. 2 minutes was like 3 hours. At that point, you know, the office, like, for like, you know, people that get tickets and stuff, and I see the damn cop writing a damn ticket. And it's not like I could throw the ticket away and like it was gonna disappear. I obviously had to go to court. I obviously had to go to court and stuff. So I think like my ticket was like in June, and I had to go to court like in August or something like that. Like, I remember I didn't tell my parents for a long time. I think like I was close to the date I had to go to court, and I told my dad. And I remember telling my dad, and I remember my dad, and I still think to this day that he thought I was gonna tell him that I was pregnant or something, because I told him very discretamente, like I was like, Dad, like I need to tell you something. And you know, my dad, like now I feel like my dad is the type of person that you can tell him stuff that like is bad, and he doesn't have really no reaction to it. Like, he's not like, oh, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Like, he's very calm about it, and I think that is the reason why I tell him things more than I tell my mom, because I know how my dad is already. But I remember I called my dad into the room, and I told him, you know, I need to talk to you about something. And I already knew he thought I was gonna tell him I was pregnant or something. I sit him down and I tell him, okay, this is what happened, and I ended up getting a ticket, and I have to go to court and all of this stuff. And he honestly was very like he was shocked, but he had no expression. So he was just like, okay, well, you know what you gotta do, you know, let this be a lesson learned and don't do it again and stuff like that. And let me tell you something, I learned that day. From that, ask me to this day, ask me if I ever ditched again. Nope, I did not. So I learned my lesson. I was upset, but she was upset because I didn't tell her first. I told my dad. So she was more upset of the fact that I didn't tell her that I got a ticket, and I did that. She was just upset that I didn't tell her first. And obviously she was upset about that, but she was just like, well, why didn't you tell me first, you know? So the day came around that we had to go to court, and I remember we went, and my dad made me get off and wait in line because he was not gonna wait in line. So I waited in line until they opened. I think they opened like around 8 o'clock or something like that, and I was there like at really early, like at 7:30, and I was just waiting my place and whatever. And then yeah, we went inside the courtroom, and the judge starts talking to me and my dad. And my dad starts answering. I remember this really clearly. He started answering the questions for me, and the judge got really mad. He was like, "Are you the one that got the ticket?" And my dad's like, "No, sir." And he was like, "All right, well, let her answer the questions." So I was just like, "No, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir." You know, and I got the ticket, and I remember that the judge waived the fee. I think it was like over $300 I had to pay, but because I had no record or any of that stuff, it was waived. So I only had to do like 350 hours of community service, which was a lot for a 15-year-old, right? Let me tell you. So then I remember I did my community service at a church that I still go to this day, which is very ironically. And every time I go like to that church, I'm just like, you know, I know like a lot of secrets of this church because we used to do I used to do like a lot of cleaning and stuff like that. But today, you know, I did my community service. I did all of that stuff. I got my ticket signed, and never again did I ditch school. So I was thinking this video was going to be longer, and it's not. So here I am, halfway done with my face, and the story time is, I'm done with it. So here's another story, how I met my husband. So if you guys are new, and you guys are new to my channel, I am married. I do have a husband, and I have 2 kids. I met my husband in school. We met in high school. We met in 2008. He was not my boyfriend at the time. We didn't start like dating until like 2011. He had, you know, his significant other, and I had mine. And we were just really, you know, we were just friends. We were just good friends. Like, he was honestly like a really respectful you know, friend. Like, I really liked him. I really liked the way he was and stuff. So I remember, you know, he would never go to school. You know, he never went to school. So for me, him not going to school, like, kind of gave me, I really didn't care for him at the time, is what I'm trying to say, because he never went to school. He missed a lot of school. So, you know, like, I would go every day. So him not being there, it was just like, oh, it's like another day. You know, he's not there, it's another day. So it wasn't until, you know, his breakup with his ex that I was just really there for him. And I feel like that's kind of what got us connected, was, you know, like, was that breakup. Like, I think I had already broken up with my ex as well, and I think he had just recently broken up or something like that. And I feel like that breakup was kind of like the cherry on top to our relationship blooming. We were just really good friends. Like, I feel like it was there, but not like, I didn't want to like say anything, and he didn't want to say anything, even though he tried for the longest. Like, I think he tried like 4 months before I actually was like, okay, you know, let's make this official. So it took me about like 4 months for me to be like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna give you a chance, because he would ask me every single time he would see me, like, can you be my girlfriend? And I was like, oh my god, he's gonna get tired of telling me, of asking me, and I'm just gonna be like, no, 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 no. So he was like the first guy I actually brought around to my parents and stuff. So I really liked his style. I still love his style. We're just opposites, like we're completely opposites, and I feel like that's kind of what keeps us going, is that we're opposites, you know, like opposites attract, and they really do, you know. So I have been married for, we just hit 5 years in March, which is crazy to think, because I feel like I just got married to him. He asked me out the first time, like officially, that I said yes was on my birthday, was January 28th, 2012. And it's so funny because, wait, 5 years, 5, 6, I know, 4, 5, 6. So 4 years after the day he asked me out, no, was it 16, 17? 5 years after the day he asked me out, on that same day, 5 years after the day he asked me out, so that year, it was in 2012, 5 years later, that exact date, Ismael was born. I can find a picture of us. I'm gonna post it like at the end of this video. Anyways, that is it for my story time. I guess I combined 2 in 1. I was not planning to combine 2 in 1, because I guess from here on out I am just going to fast forward the rest of my makeup. Fast forward from here on out. Alright, so my camera totally died on me, so while I was charging I got a chance to do my hair and stuff. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my video.